Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the ring now, from Carlisle, Wayne Shepherd. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring, from Hamilton, Super Scott Dixon. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome along to the Bellahouston Sports Centre here in the delightful city of Glasgow for tonight's World Championship Boxing, proudly presented by Tommy Gilmore in association with Ringside Boxing Promotions. All the officials have been appointed by the Scottish Area Council of the British Boxing Board of Control here present with us at ringside. Let's get the action underway then. We are in the light middleweight division. Introducing to you, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black trunks trimmed with white, weighed in at 11 stone, 1¼ pounds. He's taking part in his 51st professional contest. He is Britain's most senior professional. Would you please welcome, from Carlisle, pretty boy, Wayne Shepherd. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed with black, weighing in at 10 stone, 13 pounds, 14 ounces. 28 fight record, 22 wins, 4 inside the scheduled distance, 4 losses and 2 draws. Coming to the ring as the former Commonwealth welterweight champion from Hamilton, please welcome Super Scott Dixon. Timekeeper of the bell is Ricky Gilmore. Referee in charge of the action is Vic Lachlan. This is 6 3-minute rounds.
Hi guys, you know the rules. Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all time. Best of luck to both of you. God bless. Touch gloves.
A quick prayer in the corner for Scott Dixon, the comeback for the confidence-shattered former Commonwealth welterweight champion who moved up to 11 stone and has so far backfired. 2 draining defeats in tricky matches with light middleweight Anthony Farnell and also Steve Roberts. Here back at the 6th-round level with our oldest pro, the one-of-a-kind Carlisle brawler Wayne Shepherd. It's starting a game, really, isn't it, Glenn?
Yes, back to the drawing board. It should really be just a workout for Dixon, but you know, this is where things go wrong. He can't afford any mistakes here.
But it was a dreadful end to the year for Dixon. And he's rebuilt and said he's got the hunger again for the game. Shepherd who at 41 is the oldest professional in Britain. But he's always pretty stubborn.
Yes, he's stubborn, he's pretty fit. He's a rough handful who's difficult to fathom out. So this could be a bit messy and a bit awkward for Dixon.
Never been down. Very good chin, Wayne Shepherd. Dixon trying to work the left hook and right to the head was good. He started at featherweight, Scott Dixon. Now weighing in at 10-13-4. Do you think he's a natural light middle?
Yes, he's pretty tall. He's very tall. He's always been pretty thin throughout his career. So I think he's developed, naturally through the years.
Well, he's got the height advantage over Shepherd, especially with that new hairstyle. He's come to the ring with a few in the past, Scott Dixon. He had Superman emblazoned on the back of his head. He loves the game.
We're going to try and make this fight easy. Just use the height and reach, use his boxing ability, and not get involved. And I think that's what he's got to try and do. Just build his confidence back up.
He's got to keep Shepherd at arm's length and fire in the quick hooks. Nicely in control. It can't be easy coming back from two back-to-back defeats.
Very, very difficult. Your confidence is at an all-time low, and you're wondering if you've still got any ability left, and he's got to try and overcome that and put on a decent performance.
Well, it's a good opening round for Scott Dixon. He's boxed very smoothly and very confidently, and that's a good sign. That's the record. 4 defeats, 4 knockouts, 22 victories in his 28. Commonwealth welterweight champion. He seemed to be doing very well at 10 stone 7 and then suddenly jumped up.
Yeah, well, I think weight has been a problem, but putting his shots together quite well in the opening round. He started nicely, using the hooks to good effect, and most of the work all off the jab. So that was a decent start for Dixon.
There's Gary Jacobs there, who now is with Scott Dixon, just advising him. Dixon back up, living again in Hamilton, gone back home to his mum, and Gary taking control. Here's the second round in the 11 stone light middleweight division. Scott Dixon from Hamilton, with some local support here on the right of your screens, in the white and black, up against the rugged Wayne Shepherd. Calls himself Pretty Boy.
Well, he's doing the right thing, Dixon, just using that jab, just keeping Shepherd on the end of that punch.
Good left hook from Scott Dixon. Not enormous power. Didn't really have that at welterweight either. But he's a sharp puncher when he's boxing fluently. And Shepherd just tries to close down the distance and rough him up inside. Shepherd, who's coming off a points defeat to Joe Townsley back in January. Townsley, who was so very brave against Adrian Stone in their fight last week in Plymouth. Went down 5 times.
Well, Shepherd getting a bit of success there, landing with a right hand, just trying to close the distance down on Dixon, and that's really the best thing he can do.
As he's trying to make it awkward for Scott Dixon to box. He's got to give himself some room, Dixon.
Yes, he has. He's got to use the jab and then put the hooks together.
It's a nice left to the body, but blocked by Shepherd. To try and dazzle Shepherd. He really is very fit and rock solid. The older brother of Charlie Shepherd, the super featherweight. Both manic trainers, aren't they, in Carlisle?
Yeah, very, very hard trainers. They're good professionals, always ready for a fight.
But how long can he go on at 41? I mean, we're talking about fighters like Holyfield at 38, Larry Holmes making a comeback at 52.
Well, down at his level, he can go on, you know, he can fight all right, Shepherd. It's when he's moved up a level, you know, he's got to stay, you know, really down at the 4-round level. He's fine, he can get by with his experience and his strength.
That's good work from Dixon. The better fighters do find a way of working Shepherd out and even stopping him. Jamie Moore, the Manchester southpaw, did it in 3 rounds. Moore had that strange win over Richie Murray at the weekend, and Murray dislocated the shoulder. Well, there is the pretty boy.
No.
Wayne Shepherd with Jack Dougherty, long-time trainer and manager. Dougherty, who, of course, looks after Charles and manages Bobby Vanzi, who's got an interesting British defence against Steve Murray coming up.
Obviously, keep your gloves up, but keep your gloves up, and if you get close...
Keep your gloves up. What else does he tell him after all these years?
Well, I think he needs to close the distance down, get as close as he can to Dixon. Here, he's just giving him too much room, and that's where Dixon can get off with his hooks. That's where Dixon will be effective. If he's got a bit of room to get the punches off, Shepherd really needs to be close into him, rough him up, not allow Dixon to work.
5 punches so far, all the success there for Dixon. Only 6 landed from Shepherd. Here's round 3. Scott Dixon, the 24-year-old from Hamilton here in Scotland, on a comeback. First fight of the year, after losing in 7 to body shots from Anthony Farnell and 9 to body shots from Steve Roberts. That was back in August. He's parted camp with the Peacock Gym and returned to Scotland under Gary Jacobs, and begins again here against Wayne Shepherd. He's made a good start.
Yes, he's doing the right sort of thing, as long as he can keep it at distance. But there shouldn't really be too much danger here. You've got to look at Shepherd's record, 50 fights, never had an inside schedule win.
No, there's no power.
Which is amazing from somebody who is so fit, so strong, so well developed, not to have had an inside schedule win.
Yeah, the Shepherd brothers can lift some weights, can't they? But that's not what gives you the power in this game. Just trying to mess Dixon around. As Dixon goes back to his jab and skills, far superior technician in the ring there. That's better work from Scott Dixon. He looks as though he really wants this again.
Well, that's the sort of work he should be doing in with an opponent like Shepherd. He should be looking good. And I think that's what the match was designed for.
He told me beforehand, even before he went into the ring against Steve Roberts last summer, that he was going to pack boxing in. He was making a bit of money as a fitness instructor down in London. And Shepherd tries to make it hard for him in there.
Well, Shepherd doing the right thing there, getting in close, pushing Dixon back on the ropes and then trying to work away.
There's a cut, Glenn, just by the left eye of Scott Dixon. Was that the head? It's been going in a lot. Dixon, who was cut when he fought Derek Roach in a memorable fight for the British welterweight title in Coventry in 1999. Dixon down 3 times, Roach twice, and Roach had both eyes closed the next morning when we had breakfast with him. Dixon unlucky that night.
Good work from Dixon. He's been stung into a bit of action. He needs to do that.
Going back to pumping out that jab and keeping Shepherd at bay, but there is the cut now for expert Benny King to work on.
Well, that's the way he fights. I don't think he does it really intentional. He's shorter than Dixon. He just comes in with his head down. And, you know, that's always going to be a problem. There's the clash of heads. You see Shepard head down straight into the face of Dixon. And Dixon, that'll be upsetting to get a cut in a fight like this, which should really be a gentle rehabilitation to pick up injury. He'll not be happy with that.
Said Shepard at 5'6" and Dixon at 6 foot. There's some advantage height-wise for Dixon, but not like that with the head. Here's the 4th round of this 6x3s in the light middleweight division. 154 pound, 11 stone. Excellent in the country at the moment, British champion Wayne Alexander, Commonwealth Richard Williams, Anthony Farnell on good form at the weekend. Will Dixon get into the mix? In Shepard goes again, and referee Victor Loughlin says watch the use of the head.
Break, watch the head, both of you. Okay.
Both told off. But Shepard can't stand off him. He doesn't know how to fight that way.
No, he's got to get close. He's got to be right on the chest of Dixon. That's the only way he can have any success.
Dixon bundled over. No knockdown, of course. Starting to find the shots, Dixon. When he can keep this hard man off him. Physically so strong, Shepard.
Yes, he is. He does work very, very hard. And I've been on them beaches near where he lives, and it's tough up there. It's a lot of wind.
It's very cold. I'm sure Carlisle about 100 miles south of here this time of year. But he keeps himself in trim, Wayne Shepard. And he is, in many ways, a credit to the sport. Just not really landing the jab flush, Dixon, as he moves away.
That was nice, the body punch, the double hook with a left hand. That was good work from Dixon there.
Then again open to the right of Shepard. It's the left hook that floored Roach. And that weakness where he keeps his left arm a little low. Dixon is how Roach had him over a couple of times, I remember. He won the Commonwealth title, Scott Dixon, against Sean Sullivan from New Zealand at the York Hall, February last year, and he's really looking to go places. A good defence over Charlie Kane. Knocked him out in the 6th round.
Just been caught on the ropes there. Dixon didn't really need that. He's got to keep moving side to side, plenty of angles, just keep putting out the jab.
He doesn't like being backed up, does he?
No, he doesn't. Shepard having the odd success, just keeping him in the fight.
Dixon turns southpaw as the bell for the end of the 4th goes. Looks tired too. Dixon still did enough, didn't he, that round?
Yes, most definitely. He's throwing more punches and landing with more. You see not many landing for Shepard in the fight. This was nice combination from Dixon. The jab to the body brought the right hand down, then doubled up with the left hook to the head, and then a decent right hand to finish it. That was good, classic combination from Dixon.
First boxed at 7 years of age, Scott Dixon. Being told to keep going. Wins in the bag then. 6 minutes left of this 6-round light middleweight fight. Scott Dixon in the white and black trunks, Wayne Shepard in the black and white trim. Dixon with all the advantages in terms of boxing, but Shepard Always dangerous when he gets inside. Cut Dixon, although it's not bad, the eye. Everything on Glenn's card to Super Scott Dixon, as he calls himself.
Shepherd's trying to make it competitive. He's trying to push forward and, you know, cut the ring off and get Dixon on the ropes. But Dixon boxing quite good, using the jab well and occasionally coming out with some nice combinations.
I was talking to Scott beforehand about whether he would stay at light middleweight. He had the success at 10-7. Surely he must think about going back down there and he'd be more of a threat to the Harry Darmies and Joey Kaliks of the world.
Well, he obviously moved up because, you know, weight was a problem. He didn't feel comfortable. I think he'll have thought about that. Obviously, you know, maybe thinks it's too tough to do it.
He's only coming at 10-13-4 for this sort of fight. So he's obviously somewhere between the two divisions. Gary Jacobs was saying that he just took Scott back to school and is starting to teach him the basics again. Because he can box.
Yes, he has a bit of ability when he uses that jab, puts his shots together. He needs to keep his height a bit more. He's sometimes, you know, leaning too far down. He needs to keep the height, which is important against the shorter man.
Actually beaten to the jab there by Shepherd, who continues to stalk Dixon. There's Gary in the corner, the man who challenged Pernell Whitaker. I was reading is coming back under Tommy Brooks, training in Vegas. Seems pleased with his work. Gary is a fitness centre now in Glasgow. And Shepherd drops his hands. Is he getting bored in there?
He's a bit of a character, isn't he? I think he's getting a bit bored of chasing Dixon. He likes a man that'll stand and have a fight with him.
Time out there.
Do you understand?
It's a word to Shepherd, who I think did understand. He's had 51 fights after all. Well, it's all Scott Dixon. It's very easy, this. And he's needed it.
Well, he's getting the workout that he wanted, Dixon. It's not as easy as I think he would have liked. You know, Shepherd managing to push him back, but it's Dixon that's landing the majority of the punches.
4 times as many for Scott Dixon, and surely every round on the card to him. But he just needs a win after what happened to him at the end of 2000.
Yeah, he needs a win. I mean, it'd be nice for him to get a good stoppage win and look really impressive. That would really do the world for his confidence. But this is, you know, it's never easy, and this is a way to work back, and you know, he's going to have to work back the hard way.
There's the gum shield, just coming slightly loose. Everything on Glenn's card to Dixon. Final 3 minutes of this one. Scott Dixon a mile ahead, surely, on the card of Victor Loughlin. And Wayne Shepherd will continue to give Dixon the sort of workout he needs. Shea Neary stopped Wayne Shepherd in 2 rounds. And Shea's a light welterweight. Derek Roach stopped him. Jamie Moore did it. Can Scott Dixon? He doesn't look like he wants to, really. He's enjoying himself now in there, and why not?
Well, he's doing enough, Dixon. I'm sure he would want to force a stoppage. He just doesn't seem strong enough to do that.
He's so tall, Dixon, and that's why he has moved up in weights, but he didn't have much power at welterweight. I can't see how he's got it at light middle.
No, I don't think he's got to look for the power. What he's got to do is use his boxing ability, or use the jab and look to win that way.
Normally going to be hard night's work for Scott Dixon. He's crumbled to body shots before. And Gary Jacobs was saying to me, no good fighter should go to body shots, which I didn't quite understand. Shepherd continues to work as hard as he did in the first round, and at 41 shows no sign of falling out of love with this, although just a bit distressed. That's something in there.
That's better from Dixon. Just use the jab, just keep Shepherd at range.
And Dixon looking away and maneuvering his body in strange ways as he eases his way through to a victory here. Once again, Shepherd drops his hands, trying to goad Dixon in. Shepherd knows he can't hurt him.
Well, he doesn't need any gimmicks here. Dixon, what he needs is a good professional performance.
He says he's back, happy to be in Scotland, and he's got that leash of life again. Is he a threat to the Adrian Stones and Richard Williams? I don't know.
Break. Break. Do it.
Well, it should be pretty comfortable win this for Dixon. He's done a lot more and give him every round on my scorecard, but he's got the workout that he needed.
Yes, he's got the victory that he needed, more importantly, after the 2 stoppage defeats to prospects in the light middleweight division. He went back down a level, and he only threw 3 more punches on the computer there, but look how much more he landed. The success rate 4 times as much as Wayne Shepherd, who will live to fight another day.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure there's still a few fights left in Shepherd.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, referee Vic Laughlin has scored the contest. For Shepherd, 54 points. For Dixon, 60 points. Your winner from Hamilton, Super Scott Dixon. And show your appreciation for Britain's senior professional, Wayne Shepherd.